Hi guys, and welcome to a new DIY video. Johannes is with my mom at the summer house, Eric is gaming, and yeah, I have the whole day to play around, so super happy about that. We're making a shirt. Trying out a pattern that I bought a while back that I haven't tried yet, and also I'm hoping to show a solution that's a bit easy with buttons if you are not really comfortable doing that or haven't done it before like me, and just want to find like a quicker solution that's a bit more hand stitching but very easy to do. If you've seen my video with the summer dress, it's the same fabric that I'm using, a striped cotton fabric. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it maybe. And yeah, I also have some really nice buttons that I want to show you. But in terms of materials, let's get to that. I will show you the materials, and then I'll also show you the pieces that I've cut already. Let's get to it. Okay, so here are all the pieces. I have one front piece, one back piece, two sleeve pieces, two cuff pieces, some lining right there, and then the collar and the collar. That's the ones we will use, and right now I have the pattern over it, so yeah, this is what the actual fabric looked like. It was kind of a puzzle to get it all to fit into the little piece of fabric I had left, but we did it, guys. So only thing I had to compromise on was the cuffs for the sleeves. They were like the lines had to go opposite way. All the other ones are like yeah, vertical. For the other materials, I have the pattern here, and we're making this shirt right here with that collar. I have my fabric scissors, my pinking shears, also a thread cutter, and then for the buttons I have these beautiful beaded buttons that I'm thinking of. I'm just gonna sew them on, and then underneath it I'm gonna put one of these little babies. It's like a snap lock. So yeah, I hope that's gonna be like an easy solution for the button, but we'll get to that. That little piece right there I also need according to the pattern, but I haven't really figured out where yet. So right now it's just laying right there. I'm gonna get started, and as far as it looks, we are starting with some sleeve action, and it's this sleeve right here that we're gonna make. So I'm gonna get to that one, and then I'm gonna show you along the way what I do. Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. I've cut all the pieces, and yeah, we're gonna start with the sleeve. Let's do it. So the first three things that we're going to do with the sleeves, I'm going to overlock them everywhere except for the bottom part. Then once that's done, I'm going to fold what you call like a wiener lock, which is a bit weird. But it's to create like a nice crease on the shoulder, so up here. The way that you do that so it's very equal is that on most patterns, and I hate to do this, I usually never do it, but I decided to do it like really by the book this time, is that you follow these little cutouts that they mark on the patterns. So if there is a cutout somewhere, mark it on the fabric piece, and then as you go, you'll realize what you need to use it for. But yeah, once we've done that then, so overlock, do the wiener thing, and then once that is done, we're gonna sew, yeah, sew the sleeve together. Let's do it! this is what the sleeves look like right now. On the drawing here you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 marks, and the 1 mark and the 1 mark folds into the middle, so you get this like crease, and that's what I've done here and here. So now we're just gonna sew them in the top, and then we get to closing the sleeves into a tube. Okay, so both of the sleeves are now done. As you know, we did the wiener stitch up here, and then I've just sewn them together along, along the sleeve, and I've also had a chance to actually press the stitch. So that's what I've done. Now we're moving on to the rest of the sleeve, and so far I've just the only thing I've done is that I've put the 2 pieces together, so sewn it together into a ring. What I'm gonna do next is that I'm gonna press the seam right here, and then I am going to fold the ring like double. So we're gonna fold the ring like that, and then we're gonna sew it onto the sleeve. But yeah, I'll show you along the way. Okay, so now I have the 2 cuffs, but obviously they're bigger than this one is, and that's because we're gonna ruffle them. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna sew a ruffle stitch all the way around these. I'm gonna pull that one so that they fit the size of the sleeve, and once that is done, we're gonna attach them like this. So we're gonna find the cuts, attach them like this, sew all the way around, because then the sleeve can be folded down nicely. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm showing you this like that because once it's ruffled, it can be a little bit hard to see. But let's get sewing. Okay, so I've already done the one sleeve. Remember to turn the sleeve right sides out before you pin the sleeve on, because then it will be the right way once you fold down the cuff. Okay, so we're gonna turn this one right side out like that, and then you can see my ruffle stitches here, the long threads. On this one I actually made the gap a bit too wide. I should have gone closer to the circle seam, but never mind. Okay, so you start by pulling the sleeve through like that, and then we start with matching the sleeves, the long sleeve seam to the round seam of the cuff, and then we just pin it on from there. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna sew them both. Once I've sewn both of the cuffs onto the sleeves, I'm also going to overlock this stitch and then press them down. So I will meet you back once that is done, and we will get onto the top itself. Okay guys, the sleeves are ready, and we're gonna move on to the top. So I'm gonna check the description and tell you what we're gonna do. I've been reading up on what's next. We start out with the collar actually, and the first thing to do is to sew the rollier, as it's called. I've already done that with this piece, and now I'm gonna turn this one inside out. Once that is done, we're gonna fold it so it fits one of the buttons, and then put the loop on to one of the collar pieces. Okay guys, so I've been looking at the instructions, and I've decided to go another way, because for me the collar, like, I'm still gonna use the same collar, but it doesn't really make sense to me that you open it in your neck when the shirt opens in the front. I hope you can see it here, but like this one is like closed in the front here, and that looks a bit off to me. So okay, I figured it out. It's because it's a fake button. thing on the front. I didn't even know that. It says here on like one of the steps, it says fold like the front piece, make a stitch on the front, and then press that so you have like a cheat button row. Okay, never mind. It's apparently a fake opening, and that's why we need the neck opening. Makes sense. Also a little weird that it comes this late in the process, because it didn't really make sense at all before that. All right, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna sew the lining. We're gonna sew the lining to the back piece, and then we're gonna make the opening so that it's possible to put it on over your head. After that, we're gonna go ahead and sew the fake button row, and then yeah, I'll show you once I get that far. Okay, so I'm a bit further with the collar. This is my button here, and I measured my rouleau so that it will fit that button size. You can see it there. But then I've sewn the collar. Yeah, so right side's facing. I've just sewn it like all the way like that, and yeah, now we're gonna turn it right sides out and press it, and then we're gonna move on to our fake blouse, apparently. On the lining for the neck earlier, and now I'm just gonna do the darts for the front piece. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a hole right there. And then we have our two markings. So we have a marking right there, and we have a marking there on the pattern piece. So I'm just gonna take this point right here and match it to that one, so we get a nice dart, and then I'm gonna sew that in on both sides. Once that is done, we're gonna move on to like the fake button row in the middle. So then we're just gonna fold this one in half and sew straight down. So I'm doing my darts. I've already done the other one. This is the last one. A great tip that I learned with darts that I think I've shared in another video as well is that you don't do a end stitch. You just cut the threads really long, and then you just tie a regular knot, like a double knot. That makes the dart a lot more cleaner on the right side. Guys, it's time to make the fake it's time to make the fake button row. So what I'm doing is that I'm just folding the front in half, and I'm folding it with the right sides out because we want to make the tunnel like right here on the outside, right? So I'm just folding it in half now. I'm gonna line it up nicely. I've pressed the darts upwards, if anybody's wondering. And then I'm just gonna pin like all the way down. I'm gonna pin here, and then just sew a line that's about 2 centimeters in, all the way down, and then I'm gonna press that I'm gonna press it flat, basically. That is what we're doing. Okay guys, it's a new day, obviously, and I'm a little bit further with the blouse, but I figured I would update you before I go any further. What I've done so far, when we left off last, was the darts, and also sewing the front piece, so, you know, the fake shirt thing. I hope you can see it on the stripes here. I've nailed it down with like some stitches at the top and stitches at the bottom. Thank you, baby. You love mommy's project, huh? And what I'm gonna do is when I sew on the buttons, I'm just gonna sew them like through all of the layers here, so it stays like intact. Baby, please. Yeah, thanks. I have also cut the opening in the back here, and the same for the lining. And the final thing I've done is that I've sewn the shoulders together. So now we're moving on to the collar and the lining inside, and I'm just gonna figure out how to do that before I update you. So. Okay guys, I figured it out. It actually is the way it says in the recipe, which makes sense because it's supposed to be. But it took me, sometimes you just need to wrap your head around it and then come up with a solution and check if it's the same. So I have the collar that I made, and I've sewn the lining of the front and back together like over the shoulder. And then I have the top right here, so these are the right sides up. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna fit the collar now. I'm gonna fit the collar here and then sew it all the way around on both sides. And once that is done, I'm gonna put this one over it and sew, sew the lining in. Keep in mind that it's right sides together all along, so that the collar gets sandwiched between the lining and the shirt, because that's when it's gonna look nice. Let's do that.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one...
Okay guys, I have sewn in the collar. You can see it on the side, on the right side. And now we're adding the lining that I've basically just, wrong sides together, the collar sandwiched between. The one place where I really had to like trick my brain was for the neck cutout. But what I've done is basically fold in the corner of the collar here, so the collar is flat all the way out here, and then I can sew past that, so the collar is like folded in here in order to be able to sew all the way down without sandwiching the collar together here, so it wouldn't be able to stand up. I'm gonna sew all the way around this place, and then we're getting to the sleeves and also to the end. Okay, so I just finished sewing around the collar, and I'm a bit curious if I did it right or not, but let's see. Just gonna remove the final pins. No. Okay, so it worked on the one side. I'm really happy with that one, to be honest. It looks like this, so on the one side and the other, but on this side looks okay. And then you flip it, and I accidentally sewed across this one. Okay, I'm just gonna redo that, undo that, and then sew this line straight like the other one, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, the collar is done. I'm speaking a little bit quiet because Johannes is sleeping, but you can see the faux button row here. So this is the front, and then for the back, the lining is now also nice, and I'll have a button there in the neck. So yeah, now we have a neck with lining, so it looks nice and crisp when you open the back side. Okay, basically what's left from here is to close the sides and put in the sleeves, and of course also then embroider the buttons, one in the neck and I think about 4 on the front. So I'm just gonna close it. I'm gonna close the front and the back on the sides, in the sides here, put in the sleeves and embroider the buttons. So let's just say I'll meet you when it's done. Ooh, final thing, you also need to hem the bottom of the shirt here. It needs to be hemmed, but then we're done. It is result time! It only took us 3 days to get through this one. Well, not 72 hours to make the shirt, but you know, 3 days of different times of sewing. Are you pooping? You pooping? You sure? Okay. I did not expect to ask him that question. But it's time to show the result. Are you ready? Here we go. So, my very own shirt. No, it looks really nice. It has the sleeves and the buttons. I just sewn the buttons on. And yeah. It is all ready. Should we maybe ask Daddy if he wants to do a little bit of video, Mama, so everyone can see the details?
Makes me feel this way. Don't know what you do. Hold my hand. Could you hold my hand? Look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side.
I'm about to take off to work in my new shirt, and also I'm about to end this video. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe ring the bell if you want to get notified, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Giving you my life.